Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got an exciting blend for you guys tonight. This one is actually sponsored by Teacroi. We met during the tea festival, so we have a little arrangement going on tonight, and I'm excited to try this tea, and hopefully we'll have her as a guest coming in at some point. Hey Sneha, welcome. Since this is in tea bags, I'm going to go ahead and brew the tea live as I go. There we go, and I will start the timer right now. Okay, so a little bit about this as the tea brews. So they're based in Florida. And unfortunately, I didn't get a loose leaf sample. I was able to get the tea pyramids. So I mean, I'm not able to like hold the tea like I normally do. But I'm going to see if you guys can see the blend from its best angles. Now, as you can tell, this is. First of all, it's got a lot of herbs. This doesn't have any actual tea in it. It's an herbal blend. I'm going to go over the ingredients. Hey, Mao, welcome. So I'll go over the ingredients and talk a little bit about this. Now, I don't normally like... Hey, Teresa, welcome. I don't normally like using the term detox in this sense because... it's normally used as like a buzzword, but these do have a very handy list, and I can explore the health benefits about this. So it does have, and I'm glad that they have the list of ingredients and the health benefits attached to them. So that makes things a lot easier. Hello, Janet. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to go ahead, and I see I just got prompted. Let me pull you in. There we go. So it's Janet. She's the owner of Teacroi. I'm assuming owner. And she's going to join us and talk a little bit about the tea. Hopefully it works, because I was having a little bit of trouble this morning testing it out. So while that connects, I'm going to talk about the ingredients. We have cloves, which speeds metabolism, hibiscus to ease constipation, peppercorn for metabolic support, cinnamon to boost metabolism, rooibos, which regulates metabolism, elderberry, which stimulates urine flow. We have chamomile, which soothes the digestion, orange, which burns fat, cornflower, which is an anti-water retention, fennel to relieve bloating, echinacea for the immunity system, and goldenrod to control fat cells. So, okay, oh, it looks like the connection failed. Let me try that again. What was it? Post the link on the Teacroi face. Oh, is it to paste the link on the... I mean, I was going to do that after, because, I mean, Janet, you can share it in the meantime. You can share it to your page. I'm going to try to get you back, because it was giving me... It worked literally 1 out of 3 times. So it does work. It's just very fussy. In the meantime, let me see, we have about 1.5 minutes left while this steeps. So I want to talk about the herbs and not the herbs, but the odor, or not I don't want to call it the odor, the scent that it comes with. It's very earthy. There's, I mean, you have like your flowers, you have the cinnamon, but what I get is a more earthy blend from the nose. I'm getting more of the cloves, I'm getting more of the cinnamon. The rooibos doesn't really have... Hello, welcome. Okay, so we'll try it because it's still trying to add you. Let's try this way as. Oh, it's not even letting me pull you in as Teacroi. Ugh. All right. That's maybe it needs a second to to see you. I guess I don't know. I mean, you're still coming up as Janet on here. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep on going. You'll just join here. Okay, perfect. I mean, oh, there we go, just in time. So because this is not, this doesn't have any Camellia sinensis in it, I'm treating this as a normal herbal blend and steeping it for 5 minutes at 212 degrees. Is anyone else having volume issues? I don't know. Somebody else can answer that for me because I'm on the giving end for this one. Um, but yeah, go ahead and if you're having volume issues, let me know so I can probably figure out what's going on. It might actually. Is it coming too low or? Well, yeah, just comment amongst yourselves as it goes. Anyway, before we get too far off of the with all the technical issues that I'm having tonight, so I'm getting a lot of earthiness, a lot of the cinnamon, a lot of the cardamom. There's not a whole lot of floral in it. Um, yeah, I'm not getting and I'm not getting as much orange as I thought I was because normally orange um, is a really strong scent. But I'm getting a lot of like the cinnamon, the cardamom, like the spicy herbs, the cloves. Yeah, I'm. Oh, you know what? Probably the fennel is getting. Yeah, the fennel is what I'm getting most. So this is a very earthy blend. I'm assuming it's going to be spicy as well, just because of the cloves and the peppercorn and the cinnamon. But before I taste it, I have to show you guys what it looks like, and that is a beautiful looking clarity. Look at that. It's almost like a white tea that you can see right through it. It's actually on my camera at least pretty accurate. Where there's just a yellowish greenish tint. It's more yellow than anything. But yeah, you get like a nice clear look to it. Okay, there we go. Now I'm getting more of the orange and the cinnamon. I guess it needed to pull out the hot water needed to pull out that flavor because now it's less earthy when it's after it's infused, and it still smells spicy, which is nice because I'm getting a good amount of cloves in there. And you guys know that I love a really nice spicy tea, and I'm hoping it makes me sweat a little bit today. We'll see. So here we go. Oh, that is nice. Like the flavor itself. Okay. So in general, it's a light texture, but the spice is right on point. I'm getting a lot of the orange, orange is my favorite fruit. Is the base white tea? Not according to the ingredients. There's actually no tea in this. Yeah, this is all more of an herbal infusion. But I mean, it would go well with a white tea in it, because the white tea would probably add a little bit of a silky texture rather than um, like having it's got a very watery texture. There's no mouthfeel or very little mouthfeel to it. Um, but if you're the downside to adding a white tea is that it's probably not going to bring out the flavor as much because you're wanting to steep it at a lower temperature. So that is something that you might want to play around with. I wouldn't recommend like a silver needle to go in there, but maybe a baimudan. A baimudan might be a little bit hardier and can take the stronger temperatures. And I really love like the difference between the dry leaf, the dry herbs, and the infusion. Because before it was really earthy. You know, all I could taste, all I could smell was like the cloves and the cinnamon. There was nothing behind it, but the flavor afterwards, it brings out the orange a whole lot more, and even some of the elderberry. The elderberry, of course, isn't like overpowering, but it is there. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what it looks like afterwards. Now, I can't really show you how much change there is because these are all herbs, these are all spices. You're not going to get the opening of the leaves. There's going to be very little difference between one and the other. Um, but you know that's not what judges the taste. The taste of a tea is brought out by how much it opens and how much is released. Oh yeah, it's all herbs. So this is actually because of that. There's no caffeine whatsoever. So this is the perfect time to drink it all day. Um, and you know, for people who are caffeine sensitive, this is very much reminiscent of like a summer drink. You know, it's very light, very airy. Like the citrus is on point. You know, you're getting a good amount of sweetness and spice along with the tart of the orange. Um, but it's more like the orange isn't intense, it's more like an orange drink. So it leaves a bit of a refreshing aftertaste to it. I'm also tasting more like the as it cools down, I'm tasting more of the flower. I don't know which flower it is. It's all you know what it might also be the rooibos. But I'm trying to figure out it's hard to like really determine which flower comes up because they're all blended so well and floral flavors tend to have that same kind of um, like a scented flavor to it. It's a bit perfumey. And I'm really surprised because it's the hibiscus and rooibos. You see, that's the thing. Like normally, I don't taste. Well, I'm not tasting the rooibos as strongly as I do in other blends. But I'm assuming that's because in this particular case, there's so many different ingredients that the rooibos is a little bit hidden. Same with hibiscus. Hibiscus is usually generally really strong. But again, because there's so many different ingredients going in there, it blends well. I know a lot of people who don't have the palate to handle hibiscus because it's usually very tart or very sour. But you can barely get that strength in here. This kind of blend is an overall blend. The cooler it gets, the sweeter it gets. Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's what I love about herbal infusions. They're easy on the tongue, and as it cools down, you get more flavor rather than more bitterness. Sometimes with black teas, as it cools down, you'll get that astringent, soapy kind of flavor because everything tends to concentrate after time passes, and you're getting the full face of the concentrated tea. On top of that, the heat from the water doesn't mask any of it. So you're getting like this, you're getting just a whole bunch of bitterness in the face. You were careful with the hibiscus and fennel because you didn't want the dry aftertaste. Yeah, exactly. And the same thing with the rooibos. The rooibos tends to have that grainy, sandy texture. I'm not getting any of that from here. Normally, I don't. I don't mind the grainy texture from rooibos. I actually kind of love it. But I have friends who have texture issues, who they would love this because there's no grain to it. Like the flavor is there, but there's so much going on that you're not going to. It's the kind of flavor that you'd want to sit and explore. I would love to try this iced, because like this is a very soft, it's a very soft flavor. Blah, I can't talk. It's a very soft flavored tea, and it comes across just very fragrant on the palate. So as I breathe and as I speak, um, it doesn't. It's a very slow burn. Like I'm still tasting it, and I'm speaking loudly, of course, so that's more air escaping. And so after a while, it should dissipate. But this is holding on pretty well. And I love. Okay, now I'm starting to get the hibiscus. Now it's starting to come across a little bit stronger. There's a bit of a, I don't want to say coppery flavor, but there's like, you know how it kind of, how copper, how does the tea cool? Just naturally. Like it as the water cools off, it just like the tea itself cools along with it, and you don't really you don't really taste it until it is cooler because that concentrates. Oh, how does the flavor profile change? Well, I was just touching on that with the coppery kind of, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know how copper kind of like it sticks in the mouth and kind of like just swirls around. It's got that kind of quality to it. So it doesn't have like the copper flavor. It's got the um, it's got the quality of just swirling. So when combined with the different flowers and the spices, especially the orange I think is part of what's pushing the coppery, uh, the coppery. I don't because it's not a copper flavor. It's like not a coppery benefit. There's got to be a better word. Um, but it's that coppery quality where it just swirls. Um, it's like that's helping promote it a little bit. And as it cools, like I said, it was starting off mostly orange. It was mostly orange and cinnamon. Now I'm getting more of the florals. Now I'm getting more of the hibiscus, and that's how the profile is changing. Um, it's becoming sweeter. It's becoming more floral, and lighter as it cools. Now this was a very light tea to begin with, so it's impressive how it declines very slowly in its as it cools, and that's part of why I want to try it iced, because if it gets like this kind of flavor when it's still semi-hot, it's also the kind of flavor that, um, if it remains intense, and makes it cold, it'll turn into more of like a juice drink. I don't know if that makes any sense because it's not like a full-on juice, but a flavored, like a flavored drink kind of a thing. And that's what I love about this. It's very airy. And right now I'm getting, I know there's no rose in this, but there's like notes of rose. And I'm thinking that's more of an effect of the hibiscus and the cinnamon. Not so much the orange. I'm not getting a whole lot of orange anymore. It's starting to hide behind the hibiscus, which I kind of figured was going to happen anyway because hibiscus is a really strong, really strong flavor. You say it reminds you of dragon fruit body water, dragon fruit vitamin water when cold. Now that is interesting. I've got to try it out. Not today. I'll probably do it like off camera. Thankfully, I have a few a few bags to go left because I tend to make concentrated iced tea. So this is gonna be really good. Mm. I really love the way it just sits on my tongue. I gotta do the Thomas taste. I'm gonna enjoy the Thomas taste very much, I'm sure. But here we go. Okay, now I have this very interesting sensation. I don't know if it's because of the way that I slurped, but I got like this kind of dry sensation under my lip, like right here. And it's probably as the air just like went through my bottom teeth, it kind of like dried up that one little area. But after holding on to it and like breathing in and out through my nose, like the floral elements come out really strong. And I think now as it cools and it's concentrating, there's a bit more texture to it. I'm starting to get like that grainy, sandy flavor from the rooibos. It's not strong, but it is present. I'm starting to get that, and it's kind of anchoring the flavor on my tongue, so it's gonna last longer. Which I mean, like no complaints about that. Uh, I love a nice blend that just sits there and ruminates in your mouth. I'm really enjoying this tea. So, questions, comments, now's the time. I'm going to open up the floor. I will answer Teresa's question as I always do. What would I pair this with? Well, since this is a very summery kind of flavor, I would go something summery as well. This would actually go really well with watermelon because you have like the citrusy floral parts to it, and it would complement the sweetness of the watermelon. Um, Given the like, I would say that it's more watermelon than cantaloupe and honeydew. Only because of the lightness of flavor, the airiness, um, and plus the tea itself is quite watery. So you're going to match that. This is more of a thirst quencher than most teas, which is a good thing because I mean like that's what would complement an iced tea for. You drink iced tea because you're thirsty. You don't drink it as like a leisure thing, you know? Hmm. It's like you would drink it leisurely, or I don't know. I mean, you would drink iced tea as a leisure. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's there for. People drink iced tea as like a sweetness. They drink it as a, as a way to cool off. You don't really get that from different teas. From like teas, uh, the the hot black teas don't quench your thirst. Cold black teas do. You add a lot of sugar to it, and eventually, it hydrates you, but not so much like the savory, earthy blends. So I would keep this. Uh, I would keep this match with an equally sweet but not overly sweet blend, um, or the flavor like watermelon. I'm like really tempted to add some ice cubes to it, but yeah, I don't have enough left to really get a good sample of it. So I'll do that off camera. So announcements. I do have a virtual reality party coming on tomorrow. So if you're interested, you can check the group Facebook page. I forgot to add it. I'm just thinking about it now. I forgot to add it as an announcement. So I'll do that uh, after I sign off. So you'll be able to catch the link there, and come in, hang out. We'll just shoot the breeze. They're usually, not usually, they're always a lot of fun. We haven't had a bad one yet. They're always scheduled for 1 hour, but they always go on for like 3, 4, 5, and I guess that's a good sign because people have fun there. So everybody's invited. It's an open forum. We just share some tea, relax, talk, laugh, lots of fun. Um, any other announcements? We did finish the what is it, the electronic Valentines. I didn't get a whole lot of responses back. Is this tea available to buy? I would imagine so, because I mean that's why it's sponsored. I'll look for the link and post it after we wrap up, like I always do. If you can send me the link, I would greatly appreciate that, and I'll just copy and paste it. If not, I'll just search for it myself. I'm sure it's not difficult to find. But yeah, so I'll put the link up on there, and I mean, definitely check it out because this is one that's nice and refreshing. Teacroi.com. Yes, that would have been my first guess. And I'm sure it's like there's gonna be a lot of other blends on there to choose from. So I have not gone to Teacroi.com yet, but I certainly will after this because this is a good way to be introduced to a new tea company. I'm really loving like the floral notes on this. Like the cooler it gets, the more floral it gets, and the sweeter it gets. This is definitely one that I would uh, drink more on a hot day than a cold day, but I'm really enjoying it. So these are my notes, and I'm just watching the time because I don't want to go over. Yeah, who am I kidding? I love to talk. No, but seriously, yeah. So I would definitely recommend this blend, especially for people who are looking for decaf teas, ones that are fragrant, floral, sweet. This is a good way to introduce people to something that they're not generally looking for. It is the first launch product, new feature blend in summer. Oh, okay. So I was right then. This is more of a summer tea I mean, you can drink it all year round, but it feels very summery. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this on a hot day. Okay, it looks like my time is up. So thank you all for joining me, and a special thank you for from Janet Perez and Teacroi for sponsoring tonight's blend. This is no problem. I'm always happy to review a good tea. You know, I mean, it's embarrassing to get something that just tastes awful, and it's like, I mean, I'm going to be honest, no matter what. But this one I can stand behind because it's very much a light and airy, and something that I would drink on a regular basis myself. So yeah, I thank you so much for sending this my way, and I hope that we can do this again sometime in the future. Until next time. Oh, Janet is. Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of figured because like on Instagram, you were coming on as Janice, where I was like, maybe Janet is a. Okay, so I thought you went by both names. But anyway, thank you for sending this my way, and thank everybody for joining me tonight. This was a wonderful blend. So I will see you guys next time. Hopefully, I will see you tomorrow at the virtual reality party. But until then, have a great night.